Today is week 5 of our mindset approach video series. And today we are going to be talking about setting a SMART goal that you can actually accomplish and feel good about. So welcome. My name is Ann Parham. I'm the creator of the online course and community, the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman, where we take a mindset approach to practicing an intermittent fasting lifestyle. And I also host a group coaching program called the Midlife Mindset Shift. Here we do everything from the mindset approach. How are we thinking about how we are showing up for ourselves in our everyday life? This applies beautifully to setting goals for ourselves that we can actually accomplish and help us move the needle forward in our life, or simply just feel really good about the decisions we are making. So I love setting SMART goals. I referenced SMART goals in, I think, our second video series. So I will link that here if you didn't catch that one yet. And it is just a really common sense, very specific way to outline what it is that you say that you really want so that you can execute and get that result. So SMART is an acronym, and I'm going to share with you what each one of those letters stand for. And then I'm going to share with you a personal SMART goal that I set for myself this year and how I have executed on that for myself. S in SMART stands for specific. We really want to make sure that when we say that we really want something, we're really clear about the details of it. For example, if you say that you want to lose weight, that is very open-ended, and we don't really have anything that we can shoot for specifically, right? But if you say, I want to lose 10 pounds in the course of the next 3 months, now we have something that we can actually visualize and we can create a plan around so that we can, in fact, have the best opportunity to achieve that goal. So when you're setting goals, you want to make sure that you're very specific in the details of what the goal is and the outcome that is expected. The M in SMART goal is measurable. So we want to make sure that we have a way of tracking our progress and making sure that we are actually getting closer to that goal. Again, I will use the example of losing 10 pounds over 3 months. And we know that we can measure how much weight we lost by just simply stepping on a scale. We can also measure the time frame in which we are, progressing to that date that we've actually set as the day we want to get to that 10-pound loss. So measurable is very important because we have to be able to see if we are actually making progress. If we don't feel like we're making progress, we can always go back and we can tweak some things within our goal, but we won't know unless we are clearly defining that goal and then also building in those measurable points to check in with. The A in SMART is achievable, or what I like to say, attainable. Is this goal that you have set for yourself, is it something that you have the resources and tools to make happen? So for instance, if you want to lose 10 pounds, how are you going to know to check in, or how are you going to know what your progress is if you don't have a scale, right? That's one of the tools that you are going to need in order to make sure that you can assess your progress along the way. So those are the things that we want to make sure that we have the tools and resources available so that we can achieve or attain that goal. You also want to make sure that you have a plan that you can execute. So what is the plan that you're going to implement to help you lose this 10 pounds? Are you going to, go to the gym? Are you going to create some nutritional lifestyle changes? Or what are you going to count your steps and make sure you have a certain step count a day? What do you have in place that you can use as resources to make this goal achievable or attainable for yourself? That's very, very important. We have to have the tools and availability of those tools to implement the plan. And then R stands for realistic. Are you setting up those measurable points, and are you setting up that specific goal statement that is realistic for you? We don't want to do anything in a desperate sort of time frame. We don't want to do anything that's going to make us have to leave our life to achieve the goal. We want to make sure that we are being very smart in what the reality of what's going to have to take place in order for this goal to be achieved. I can't say that I want to be able to run a marathon in 2.5 hours next weekend because I haven't been training. That would be a really unrealistic goal for me, even though it's measurable measurable and it's attainable? Like literally, I just have to show up to a marathon, but is it realistic? Will I be able to execute that without having ample enough time to train? So make sure you're putting a realistic spin on that goal as well. That is the best way to set yourself up for success. And then is it time-based? Again, we want to give ourselves some parameters of time. We don't want to leave it open-ended because we want to make sure that we feel a little bit of that pressure and a little bit of that sense of urgency to actually put what it is we need to put into place to get the goal achieved. If we have an open-ended time base, then we don't know when and how we're going to check in with ourselves, and we can lose sight of what it is actually going to take to get this goal accomplished. So I highly recommend putting a date on when you want to have this goal achieved or at least checked in on. Now, the beautiful thing about goals is we do our best to state what it is that we say that we really want, but we also know that life happens. We have a nice framework for how we're going to execute this plan. But if something comes up in life, it's really important to make sure that the best way to be successful with a goal is to just not quit. So this is where I always recommend giving yourself some space and grace for life to happen. And if you've picked a goal that really does tie in with your why and your personal desire to have satisfaction in achieving this goal, then you will allow some parameters within that goal for you to have life happen without you feeling like you need to quit on yourself. So the goal that I set for myself in 2024 was to sign up, show up, and participate in a 5K every month in 2024. That's the parameters in which I created that specific goal statement for myself. The distance was a 5K. It was every month in the year of 2024. And it was a particular race or event that I had to actually sign up for and commit to. And I said that very specifically because I know how life can be. And if I don't make that commitment to register and put it on my calendar, then I can let life get in the way. So I know me, and I was very specific about that part of my goal. The way I kicked off this goal for myself was I set a goal in January to complete a 5K every day for 30 days. And I could run, walk, or crawl that 5K. It didn't matter how quickly I completed it. It was me building the habit and the belief system in my brain that I could, in fact, commit to a 5K. Now, I picked a 5K very specifically. I have been a runner since I was in high school, and I often get that little nudge or that little sense that I should be doing more. And so what I wanted to do in 2024 is fall in love with the 5K event and really fall in love with the distance of a 5K with the satisfaction that that was enough. Not that urge to run a 10K, not that urge to train for a half a marathon. Just commit to the distance of a 5K and fall in love with that race. And that's exactly what I did. In January, I was so into completing a 5K every day and enjoying the process of that I actually did that for 108 days consecutively. And it was the best learning process for me and my brain and my body, and really did give me the opportunity to, in fact, fall in love with a 5K. So I have just completed my November 5K. I have one 5K left to finish in December, and I'm super excited about that. This goal has been a very fun learning process for me and has really taught me to just be okay with where I am. And that's how I'm leaving this year, feeling very satisfied with running a 5K or walking a 5K or crawling a 5K if need be. I feel really confident in me showing up for me based on what it is that I say that I really want. And in the process, I have made a lot of cool running friends. I've had some great running experiences in some of the events that I signed up for. And I even finished first place in my age category for one of my races. Had I not made this goal, I probably wouldn't have had those amazing experiences. So think about something in your life that you really want to commit to, something that you really want to see just come to life for you. How can you break that down into a SMART goal statement? And what can you do for yourself in proving to your brain that you can get what it is that you say that you really want? And how can you have your back in the process of that? I haven't missed 1 month of signing up and participating in a 5K. And I think that for me is the most satisfying part of this. The 5K has been great. The getting out and moving my body has been great, but it's the commitment to me and what it is that I say that I really wanted, which has been most satisfying. So, what is it that you want to do for yourself? Now is a great time to start thinking about some SMART goals for yourself. We're at the end of the year. I really like to set up my SMART goals in December so that I have a head start on the new year. And I really like starting to implement the execution of the goal that I'm trying to achieve. I really like to put some steps in place and start practicing what I have to do. And then that also leaves some room for some tweaks. If maybe you come up with something that isn't attainable or achievable for you in an easy way, that the investment that you have to put into it or the time commitment is just not something that's going to be realistic for you, which is the R, you can tweak some things in the month of December, and then you can hit the ground running the first of the year. I would love to hear some SMART goals or some ideas that you have for yourself and setting up something for you to prove to yourself that you can actually get what it is that you say that you want for yourself. What would that be for you? It can be something very simple. It can be something very big. We have had women in our community change careers. We have women in our community who have changed their financial situation. We have had women move across the country to fulfill a dream that they had to live in a new place. You name it. If you get the goal statement broken down in this SMART way, very clearly, very concisely, and you tie it right back to you and your why, I promise you, you can create some amazing things for yourself. In the comment section below, I always ask that you leave me a comment and let me know that you stopped by for today's video. What is a SMART goal, or what is just a goal that you have for yourself in this upcoming year? Leave it for me in the comment section below. I promise you it'll feel good to share what it is that you have going on in your brain and what it is you want to accomplish, and it will inspire another woman in our community to do the same for herself. I appreciate you spending some time with me here today. If you haven't done so yet, we always appreciate it if you can hit that subscribe button. It is free and it really does help our community get the word out about the amazing things that we are doing here. And if you don't mind hitting that like button, that also helps the algorithm know that this content that we're sharing is actually content that you all want to hear. I can't wait to hear about the goals that you have spinning around in your head for 2025. If you need anything from me, always feel free to reach out or just leave a little question in the comment section below.